Hey everybody, this is Coach Cliff, exercise physiologist and sports nutritionist. So, ladies, do you know how eating and losing weight has gotten a lot harder once you hit 40, especially 45 and into 50 and above? It gets harder. Now, I was that trainer for all my life that when a woman who was 40, 45 would come into the gym and say, I just can't get this weight off. I barely eat anything. I promise I eat really well and I exercise 5 days a week. Some would say that, at least some are exercising some, but they'll say I'm doing everything and it just doesn't work. Or I can lose a few pounds, but it just comes back on. I'll tell you why. And I was that trainer that would always tell those women, well, you got to work a little harder, be more consistent. Maybe we got to lower your calories a little bit more. And I was as perplexed as they were. I couldn't figure it out. And I didn't always believe that it was necessarily harder. I just thought maybe as we got older, we just weren't as active. Maybe we were eating foods and just forgetting that there's a reason. And I'm going to show you. Okay. Every woman from puberty until death has a hormonal cycle. I'm going to show you a really rough graph. Okay. Every single month, and by the way, men don't have this. Men have 24-hour hormonal cycles. So this holds true for women, not for men. That's why men can lose weight so easily. It is different for us, but women struggle because of this reason. Let me make this color red. So this is your estrogen, the dominant hormone in females. On day 1 of your monthly cycle, and let's go out to day 28, out to here. Your estrogen will go up nicely, then it comes back down and it rides out the rest of the month. That's what's proper. If you do the right things with the way you eat, it will do that really well. And then progesterone will stay low, will start to go up, will come later in the month, and then come back down. There's one more, your testosterone. Women have testosterone as well. It starts low, and then it gets a nice little bump in here, and then it comes back down. Now, this is around day 10 or so, and that's when you ovulate. That's kind of the middle part of that period. So here's what happens. Let's do, so keeping the same colors, this is progesterone. I'm sorry, estrogen is red. We got the blue with the progesterone. And then what do we do? The green is the testosterone. Now, sometimes these are not really well in sync and you go through hormonal replacement therapy and they can be on track. But I'll tell you, even if you are on hormone replacement therapy, this eating plan helps the hormonal replacement therapy work. Okay, here's what happens. Estrogen loves fat and protein. It thrives in that with fat and protein. Progesterone, crazy as this is, loves carbs. So where are we in our world of fat and protein and carbs? When I was in college, carbs are great and fat was bad. Now fat is great and carbs are bad. Just like it's insane. I can tell you that they're all good. They're all good at certain times of the month. And this is why everybody's so messed up, because people will go on let me go back to my black. Where's my black? Or dark anyway. We'll go on a keto diet because it works and it's all the rage, or carnivore diet, or whatever diet plan it's on, and now it's high protein, right? And they go on keto forever and stay on it. Well, what happens when you get to this range right here and your progesterone is dying for carbs? What happens at the end of the month before you start your period? You are craving what? Sugar, carbs, dying for it. And it literally is that your willpower is not strong enough to not eat that. Right? You've got to have more willpower than we probably have as human beings. So in the beginning part of the month, we eat a little bit more fat and protein. And at the end of the month, feed your body the way it's supposed to so the progesterone goes up. This right here is the number one reason that there's infertility, that there's autoimmune diseases, that your gut microbiome is hurting, and that you have leaky gut syndrome, which is is the cause of autoimmune disorders. So it affects your thyroid and your hypothalamus and your adrenal glands and that whole triad in there. This fixes your gut. This fixes autoimmune diseases. This fixes your knees and your low back pain. Because there are times during this eating phase that you increase stem cells, you increase growth hormone at any age. So the eating plan for this is a split plan. We call it metabolic shifting or switching, where you go from being a fat burner to a sugar burner. Okay, so fat burner or ketones. We've all heard of that, ketone burner. Your brain, half of it uses ketones and the other half uses sugar. Give it to it. And I'm not talking about pure sugar, right? Because you do need to keep your sugars lower. We're talking about fruits and vegetables and those healthy kind of carbs. And even some potatoes is fine in there as well. But we tell you when we design this plan for you, we find out exactly where you are and then design the plan around the foods you like. And also what's really important is it's the type of food you eat. So the type of sugar, the type of carb, the type of fat, and the type of protein, because they're all different. There's bad fats that you need to stay away from for sure. There are lists of what we stay away from, and there's fats that we eat. So the types of foods are important. Number 2, the timing is important. And then what's the other one? Really the type and the timing. And then the killer application of all of this is not just doing this straight through. That there are some fasting protocols, before you get too scared with that, there are some fasting protocols that help this become stronger and more powerful. It puts it on turbocharges it. Fasting can be a 12-12. You eat for 12 hours and you don't eat for 12 hours. And there was research that was done, and out of 1,000 people that said that I do that anyway. I only eat during a 12-hour period. I mean, I get up at 7 and I don't eat till 7 in the morning, and then I stop eating at 7. I always do that, right? Well, only one of those people, when they followed them over a 6-week period, was actually doing that. So most people think they do. And then we can go to a 10-12. We can go as far as a 3 to a 7-day fast. Most people don't. You can. But we tinker with different things, different protocols from intermittent fasting, along with this metabolic shifting in here. So we take the metabolic shifting along with whatever fasting protocol you're comfortable starting with. And everyone starts slow, just starts really slow with that and then eases into it. But you put all this together and it literally is like you can't stop the fat from coming off, and you feel good, and you cure so many different, I won't say cure, but you fix so many things from insulin resistance for people who are diabetics or almost diabetics, who are on a ton of medication, from depression and anxiety and your gut microbiome and your health. I mean, everything, your immune system. This fixes it. And the problem with keto is that people go straight through and they miss this whole part. And a big problem with infertility is because the progesterone only goes up that high, not enough. That's the problem. That's the cure. That's the fix. This is the way to eat, and it works. And then you add exercise during certain times. During this phase, there's certain types of exercise that we do. During this phase, there's certain types of exercise that we do. During this phase, there's certain exercises that we do. And during this phase, the nurture phase, at the end, we do different types of exercises. There's times to go hard. There's times to do strength training. There's times to do more yoga, more easy flowing type workouts. Because if you're doing hard HIIT workouts, hard cardio intervals, if you're doing CrossFit during these times and really going hard and pushing the limit, progesterone will not go up as high. When you put stress on your body wants to change it into cortisol, because the precursor to progesterone and cortisol is DHEA. So great. Maybe you're on a DHEA supplement. Great. What's it going to be turned into? Cortisol or progesterone? Depends on how you're living your life and how you're eating during this time, which one that it goes to. For most of us in America, we're going into cortisol, our fight or flight hormone, because we're so stressed. And that will crush your progesterone, cause all kinds of problems. So this eating plan, along with the proper exercise plan, it's bulletproof for women 40 and over, women 40 and under, to say 40 and over and 40 and under, both. It works. All right. Click the link at the end of this if you want more information. I'd be glad to help you.